The sixth goal is geared towards ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Over 663 million people in the world's population lack access to improved drinking water sources, which is 2 times the U.S.'s population. And over 2.4 billion people live without access to improved sanitation. This topic is important because every human being on the planet should have access to water, one of the most important basic necessities. In addition, people living in areas with increased amounts of unsafe drinking water are suffering from diseases related to the digestive system. Numerous waterborne diseases such as cholera can be obtained from drinking unsafe water. The average human being can survive around 3 weeks without food and around 3 to 4 days without water. These numbers vary depending on the person's environment. Dehydration can affect one's alertness, renal function, circulation, and entire physical capacity. About 60% of the adult body is made of water, and cells and organs needed to function properly. Many countries don't have a sufficient water supply and sanitation services for the people living there. Afghanistan has one of the worst water crises in the world. War, climate change, geographical restraints, and lack of education on certain issues has led to the crisis. Only 27% of Afghanistan's population has access to improved water sources. This number drops to 20% in rural areas, which is the lowest in the world. The sanitation issue in the country is much worse, as only 5% of Afghanistan's population nationwide and 1% in rural areas have access to improved sanitation facilities. This again, the worst in the world. In Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, with a population of about 6 million, 80% of the people there don't have access to safe drinking water, and 95% don't have access to improved sanitation facilities. Although the water crisis has been devastating, groups and organizations are working to find a solution. In the country, the Afghan Urban Water Supply and Sewerage Corporation has been working for 30 years and counting, building 40,000 clean water posts that can be accessed by 1 million people. Outside of the country, GIZ, a German company specializing in finding solutions to global issues, is doing all that it can to help. With the help of the Afghan Urban Water Supply and Sewerage Corporation, GIZ has began to put a huge plan in to decentralize and rebuild the Afghani water infrastructure. They will also be creating a sanitation program for the water in Afghanistan. With organizations trying to find solutions, there comes many reasons for optimism. From 2007 to 2013, the number of households with a newly connected water supply in Kunduz, one of the largest cities in Afghanistan, has risen from 370 to 7,700. This number represents 75% of Kunduz's population. In 2012, Afghanistan's government introduced a water tariff, and since then, the major cities of Afghanistan have seen a rise in the proportion of water that is being paid for. In addition, these same cities have built and are now operating 6 new wastewater plants. Fulfilling the short-term and long-term targets for the 6th goal would be taking the next step in the right direction for the entire world.